All right, let's talk about something really weird that just happened with Amazon. It's a bit of a paradox, really. Their cloud division, AWS, just had this incredible record-smashing quarter, but then the company's stock, it tanked. How does that even happen? Well, that's what we're going to break down. Okay, so let's just start with this one number, $35.6 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. That is a huge number, and it's pretty much the core of this whole story. Because that right there is how much money AWS, that's Amazon's cloud division, pulled in during the fourth quarter of 2025. And look, this wasn't just a good quarter. We are talking about their strongest performance in over 3 years, a truly historic moment for them.
So let's really dig into just how massive this success story is. You're looking at a true juggernaut, just operating at its absolute peak. Here's a key figure for you, 24%. That's the year-over-year revenue growth. It's the biggest jump AWS has seen in 13 quarters. So after things were kind of slowing down for a bit, it looks like they've slammed their foot back on the accelerator. And to put the sheer scale of this into perspective, think about this. Based on this one quarter's performance, AWS is running at a pace to make $142 billion a year. Let me say that again, $142 billion. I mean, this single division of Amazon is big enough to be one of the largest tech companies in the world, all by itself. And hey, it's not just about bringing in a ton of cash. It's about pure profit. The division's operating income saw a huge jump, climbing from $10.6 billion all the way to $12.5 billion in just 1 year. That is just incredible. So the big question is, what's actually driving all this? What's the fuel in the engine for this unbelievable growth? Amazon CEO Andy Jassy, he really said it best. What he's saying here is, yeah, sure, some competitor might post a bigger percentage growth number, but they're starting from a much, much smaller base. Growing by 24% when you're already this gigantic, that's a whole different ballgame. It's an amazing feat.
So what's behind it all? Well, it's not any single thing. It's this powerful mix of factors all hitting at once. You've got the AI boom, which is obviously a massive tailwind. You still have big companies finally moving off their own servers and into the cloud. And of course, AWS just keeps landing huge new customers while building out more and more data centers.
And just take a look at some of these new clients. We're talking massive deals with industry giants like Salesforce and BlackRock, super innovative AI startups like Perplexity, and even enormous government contracts like with the US Air Force. It just goes to show you they are dominating across pretty much every single sector. Okay, so with a report card this perfect, with numbers this strong, you'd think Wall Street would be popping the champagne, right? But this is where the story takes a really sharp, really unexpected turn. I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, doesn't it? A super important part of your company has its best quarter in years. The stock price has to go up, right? Yeah, not even close. The complete opposite happened. In after-hours trading, right after this amazing news dropped, Amazon stock actually fell by 10%. I mean, what? It was the stunning reversal that had a lot of people, just scratching their heads. So what gives? Why the huge disconnect? To figure this puzzle out, we have to kind of zoom out from AWS for a second and look at the entire Amazon empire. And here is the all-important context. As much of a profit machine as AWS is, it's still only made up about 16.6% of Amazon's total money for the quarter. That leaves this other enormous chunk, more than 83% of the company, that investors were also paying very close attention to. And that, right there, is the key to the whole thing. The stock didn't drop because of AWS's amazing performance. Nope. It was a reaction to news about the whole entire Amazon parent company. So 2 things basically spooked the market. First, Amazon said it was going to start spending a lot more money on big ticket items, things like warehouses and data centers. That can hurt short-term profits. And second, the company's overall earnings per share didn't meet Wall Street's predictions. And for investors, that 1-2 punch was more than enough to overshadow all the fantastic news coming out of AWS. So this whole thing leaves us with this really fascinating question for the future, right? As this AI revolution just keeps picking up steam, the demand for what AWS does, that raw cloud power, it's just going to go through the roof. So you have to wonder, are we getting to a point where AWS just becomes so big, so profitable, that the rest of Amazon can't overshadow its success anymore?
I mean, you can imagine investors starting to ask for more focus on AWS, maybe even whispers of spinning it off someday. Now that is the paradox to keep an eye on.